Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is Reality with Diva D. How you doing? And on Mother Wendy, this is going to be my episode recap of Season 2 Reunion Special Part 1 and only Part 1 of Martha's Vineyard. Well, the episode opens up and they are speaking to the cast. And when I tell you that even though a lot of reviewers and recappers are upset with the fact that these people are stuck on the vineyard, I love it. I love that people have to float on a boat and a rope and a bike to come and visit them. It's just something very unique about them and very unique about this cast. Oh, by the way, let's get to the looks right quick. Just real quickly. I had already said on the reality TV blurb that my favorite look was Jordan and Noelle for the girls. Now, as far as, did I say Jordan? Ooh, Freudian slip. I meant Jasmine. And even though it looked like on the red carpet, I guess because of the flashing lights, that blonde hair washed her out with that dress, that light pink dress, it really didn't, once they got in the clubhouse lighting is very dark. Shanice, I like the dress better sitting down, but Noelle definitely was my favorite. Bria, she would be like, on down the list is number 4. I liked her shoes. But Joy, that feather fruit roll up, she might as well had on that pink flamingo. A mess. And I thought that gelatin look, like, you know how you put your gelatin in the in those molds and it comes out and you like, ooh, a star. Ooh, a turkey or a chicken or whatever shape it is. I was like, it's gonna be different. And you know how like you stretch it out and it stick to your skin? That's exactly what it looked like. I'm like, what in the entire hell? Was that designer? Or did she just roll that off of a piece of paper and stick it to her skin? It was awful. Terrible. That is the most ugliest. And then, most ugliest is not a word. That is the ugliest reunion outfit I have seen on Bravo in the many years that I have been watching these types of shows. Ugly. Ugh. And she's supposed to be that girl? Stop. Okay, and for the men, my worst dress definitely is Amir. He looked a mess. My best dress out of the men, there's no best dress out of the men for me. Nick would probably be my number 1, but I didn't really care for his outfit. I'm over the nautical preppy all the time look, and no socks thing that bothers me. I'm an 80s girl. We wore socks. And men definitely wore socks with dress shoes styling. And we definitely didn't wear sweater vests without shirts under them. Amir. Ugh. And not Nick, but I always confuse Nick. Them caps, honey. Nick and Alex. Alex's outfit would have landed for me had it not been so bell-bottomish at the bottom. He looked like he was about to go sailing. But had he had a closer to a tapered leg at the bottom, I would have loved that outfit. From the top down, waist, from the top, the neck to the waist. I loved it. When the pants started to flare, well. Then we have Preston. Preston looked a mess. And by the way, Preston he was my favorite at one time, but he most disappointed me, actually. Oh, Summer's dress. Summer's dress was okay for me. It was just okay. It was just, she had I love simplicity, but it was just over the top, underwhelming simplicity, if that makes sense. It just didn't have a lot going on. Just the straps. I mean, she needed some jewelry or something like that, and then it was like almost ill-fitting. But it wasn't horrible. Jordan's thing, fruit roll-up, gelatin thing that was horrible. We catch up and, we get Preston congratulations on his marriage to Donald. I mean, his engagement. And Noelle is there to shine, darling. And then Nick is given cleavage and he ran a couple of marathons. And, oh my goodness, poor Summer. So, Summer, she wants to coexist. Jasmine is congratulated on her baby. And Bria is without Mallow, and she says he's in Germany with Simon. But first season, emotional support pet. She couldn't live without the emotional support of the pet. It seems like a running theme with her and her emotional support situations, huh? She had to have Nick in the bed with her for an emotional support hug. But yeah, the dog should always be with you if he's your emotional support pet. I understand. I've been there. Anxiety is a mother tucker, okay? But at the same time, whatever that thing is that is comforting you, it should always be with you. If you have anxiety so bad where you have to have an emotional support pet. I'm just saying. Jasmine, she's a sugar, does a little DJing on the side. So, he asked what was her favorite jam to play at the parties. And she said, of course, back that ass up. But hey, Juvenile has her blocked. Child, Jordan is blocked by Juvenile. What happened here? What do we know or don't know that she knows or don't know? Or what does he know about her to have her blocked? Weird. Because Juvenile don't block nobody, Chad. And baby, when I tell you that Andy hosted this reunion in the days of ore, it was like me watching him back when he first did his first reunion on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Just the right amount of shade, just the right amount of questions. I guess he loves these first one-part reunions better because he can be himself. But hey, maybe you should shorten some of those Housewives reunions. Because baby, if you let me tell you, you could have shortened, you could have gave Roe Hopper 1.5, and then same thing with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. That could have been like an hour and a half and kept pushing. Because this one right here, I think they needed a part two. But when I say the right amount of shade, he asked Summer, did Shanice look cute because of her being the worst dressed and whatnot. So he asked Amir, has Natalie cut out the peen? And he's like, pat that little junk. And he says, it's still here. Corny. And did John and Chrissy give Alex any advice? Nah, just be me. This it is poetic ass. Child, so we get right into the triangle, right? So it is so funny to me when Andy said, how did things end? Was it ease out and end right after we had found out, of course, that he had been inside Summer? And he tells us, yeah, it was like mutual. He told her what the deal was. And Summer says it was a lie, it just fills it out. In a way, that's kind of the same thing that he's saying. I mean, she just ready to jump in. He said the question was for me, though. Fall back, Otto. He was talking about how he said that she had that little split personality type thing when they would hang out when she was looking for an apartment or something. That was on Watch What Happens Live, by the way. So we get into some viewer questions, and the viewer question was, had why wasn't Noelle told that Alex had been inside of Summer? And she's like, well, I did tell her like we were hanging out or whatever. And then Noelle was like, that's your version of the truth. That wasn't really what really happened. I mean, and then everybody was like, well, you were at the table. You know, it appeared that uh, Noelle was cracking those crabs. And she was cracking those crabs so loud that she missed it. But according to some recappers, content creators, they are saying that it was a moment where she had actually left the table. So that would make sense. I mean, because, I mean, how could you miss that, you know, if you were sitting at the table and you were just cracking the crabs? I don't see how you could have missed that, because she said it pretty loud about, you know, he had been inside her. And it was like, come on now, you know, hanging out and having the doo-wop ditty is two different things. And she's like, yeah, I mean, I know that now, summer. Boy, that's summer. Summer getting by like Mia, ain't she? Mia be lying. She gonna have a strange relationship with the truth. So, it also was asked, but Noelle, you did continue to pursue him after you found out. And she tried to backpedal and peep-pop. But, girl, you on film. You on film. Candid camera. We saw you. We saw you literally get upset when the man said, no, I think we should just be friends. We should hang out. Then they brought up about him friend zoning her, and I'm not friend zoning her. They brought up about how he was, you know, the F boy or whatever. And here's the thing. That whole, I told you guys about these guys who have that whole laid back, I'm fresh to death, I'm poetic, I'm into oceans and violets and bloom. I told y'all, watch out for them. And if he have on a puka shell necklace or a bracelet or some of those, like those white pants, that linen suit that he got on, girl, be careful, because they gonna finesse you out your pants. That's what they do. And he's a Capital. Girl, y'all didn't have a chance with this fool. And he John Legend cousin and think he can sing. Notice I said think he can sing. Child, ways. Child, you ain't have a chance. So go on in and take that L. So then we talk about the picture. And, you know, I thought that the picture was just a little small gesture. And she was just, I think someone was just excited that she was hanging out with Alex. And Alex, I think he put 20 on 10 about the picture. I think he was acting like, you know, she was some creepy stalker. No, she wasn't a creepy stalker, even though the picture was taken without your permission or whatever. Damn, dude, y'all were indeed together. She just sent the picture to Jordan. Now, Jordan is the problem because she sent it to Nick. And so Nick, of course, being the frat brother that he is, he decides that he wants to ask Alex about the picture. And this is how everything turned around. He like, oh, she took a picture of me without me knowing. So what, dude? All you were doing was picking flowers. She didn't say that she was inside, that you were inside of her on the picture. So the voicemails were saying, they talked about the voicemails on Watch What Happens Live, because, you know, some was still trying to play it as if that the voicemails really meant nothing and they really kind of skimmed by it. But at the same time, if you were sending him voicemails after the fact, then you were indeed pressed. Like I said, she's on one of my previous videos, she definitely was pressed and she was feeling some kind of way, and she should have said that Noelle tried to pursue him as well. But both of them got curved. And naked Shanice had another nerve to raise her hand and say, I'm just glad I'm not the crazy one anymore. You still nuts. Oh, okay. That doesn't alleviate your craziness just because Summer turned into autumn. Then we get to Amir. Not interested. He talks in a circle because Annie says, it seems like your girl don't trust you like that, like that. And he, oh no, we're building trust. Dennis, oh no, she doesn't trust the process. Oh no, it's all new to us. Boy, if you don't sit your Drake looking, acting behind down, that's why I call him Drake Jr., because you vacillate in between wanting to be the black person that you are, but at the same time, it's a lot of cosplay. But you really want to be what you were raised to be. And that is okay. You came here acting like you really not wanted the knowledge about black culture, but at the same time, you don't embrace it. Okay? So, were you really trying to get to know your blackness? I don't think so. I think you are resting comfortably in being a raised up Caucasian male. So, they bring up her emasculating him about the pay. That was indeed a shot at him at his manhood. Regardless as to what people think, manhood is very fragile. Amir is definitely confident. Now, not with the man, not with Amir, because Amir seems to be confident being Natalie's arm piece. Her biatch or whatever. But generally speaking, to bring that up out of the blue, the way she did it, it is a form of, let me cut you off at the ball area to let you know that I run things around here. Okay? But if he likes it, honey, I ain't gotta love it. Because that's exactly what she does to him. That's not why I don't like her, because she emasculated him, because I like, like he likes a powerful woman. I like when a woman speaks her mind, child. It's Natalie herself. That's who I don't like. Because she's a social climber, cloud chaser, and she really don't like the Los Negros, in my opinion. And they did a poll on, do they think they're a good couple or do they think they're going to last? And one person raised their hand, which was Jasmine. She was like, well, I think they look cute together. But hey, then there's that. I mean, people as his friends can see a little bit of toxicity in this relationship. Now he about to go out here bad, looking like Simon and Portia over there, because he bought a house in his name, but the deed has her name on it as well. That's exactly what happened with Simon and Portia. Now Portia is sitting up in that man's house, squatting just about, if you will, and his children have no place to go when they visit him. Child, I can't make this stuff up. And when I tell you that Andy was shutting them down, it's like, when he found out that, he had the house in his name or whatever, and he's like, oh, y'all ain't married yet? I mean, really, what can go wrong? Because he knows about all these things that have happened with the housewife and what Portia is currently going through. So then we do a little glazing over and addressing Nick and his hands in this, but we're going to get deeper into it. But, we're going to talk about how Shanice still gets to walk around naked with her little quarter booty out, as if, nobody is going to look at that, and it shouldn't be addressed that she walks around naked. Now, we have to remember, Bria currently likes naked Shanice. She didn't like naked Shanice for the pool when Simon was in the pool with her. Let's keep that in mind now. And this is where the double standard come in. Now, Summer and Noelle are still on the outs, it seems. And Summer says she's working on herself. Girl, you don't need to work on yourself. You need therapy. Yeah, and that's what therapy does. You need somebody to work on yourself, working on yourself with yourself. That's what happens in therapy, because You know, she's dealing with a lot. And it doesn't seem like she copes very well, being that she had disagreements with just about everybody in the house. Noelle says that she is good where they are. Now remember, Noelle and Summer met through another dude, my understanding, that was Noelle's roommate, and Summer was messing around with him. So I think that's how they met, if my memory serves me correctly. So they bring up about the alopecia and how Summer told people, but you know, technically she didn't tell anybody, but I think Jasmine knew. And Jordan just thinks that Summer has the tendency to kind of tell things when she gets mad at you. Yeah, she does. She does. She does it. She's one of those I'm gonna tell on you on mad day type of people. That's not a friend. And when you learn how to be a friend, you learn that even as angry, because I got 44 years worth of memories with my bestie. And no matter how mad that girl makes me, the secrets that we share from the time that we were born, just about, because we've been knowing each other that long. But I still wouldn't tell them. I mean, some of them I put in a bottle and forgot on purpose, just so I wouldn't tell. Summer found her dad. She became closer with Preston because he told her he wasn't going to leave her, and she was just used to people leaving her. And yeah, I hope Summer gets better. The way this cast is set up, I love the way they're set up as of now. But, and I hate to say when people shouldn't and should go, but I don't know. I don't know if this is the right environment for Summer at this time. So we get to Bria and Preston. Because, you know, that's coming up next because Preston was addressed about Summer. So, you know, they kind of going in order. So Preston says that, you know, even though they have blocked each other, it is so amazing to me about y'all 2024 relationships. My friend that I was just talking about, she rarely ever talks to me on any type of social media. And today, in this day and time, if you are blocked, you aren't friends in person. Child, I cannot make this stuff up. But anyway, uh, anyway, Preston is talking about how he looks at her as a sister still. And she's like, well, you know, you shaded me when we first met. I remember the confessional about she is the pageant type, but never quite made it. Yeah, I don't disagree there. I don't disagree there because she is very, I don't want to say she's self-hating, but she teeter-totters on the edge of being one of those black Barbie princesses who is dark complected, but at the same time is not resting comfortably in her melanated skin. She often comes across as that type to me, that just, which is why to me she prefers Caucasian men, because you know, a lot of times in the black community, let's just keep it a buck. It's the black men who have a tendency not to mess with darker skinned women's self-esteem, because they want them like right next to white, or either a mirror style, or either no melanin at all. I call it the Whoopi Goldberg syndrome. Because if you know anything about Whoopi, you know that she was not Hollywood's depiction of what a beautiful black woman was. She came along in a time of when Lynette McKee and all of these cocoa latte, Earth Kit type of women, you know, are kind of coming off of that age where, you know, Dorothy Dandridge, all those types of women and those types of colors were more prevalent as the times were going on when she came out in the 80s. So she was deemed unattractive. So a lot of black males were getting mad at her. And I distinctly remember Eddie Murphy especially saying, she only dates white men. And and black men have a tendency to be very protective when black women date only white men. But, she made a statement right back at him. You didn't want me. Look at your list of women who you date. He's dating Halle Berry's and uh, the Whitney Houstons, and if they were black. If they weren't black, they were half black. And now he's currently with a Caucasian woman. So it's very contradictory how Hollywood works in that way when it comes to black men. And the same thing with Sidney Poitier. He was always talking to black women about how, white men were, that they would date, like Eartha Kitt and Dorothy Dandridge, how they were the trouble for them. But then he turns around and leaves his black family for a white woman. So it's a vicious circle in our community, but it's the truth. That's why I call it the Whoopi Goldberg syndrome. And that to me is what Bria is experiencing. She probably experienced a lot of rejection from black men, dark and light. So Preston talks about how he only shades her when the cameras are up, but behind the scenes, he's always helping her. Because you remember that Bria went through this incident where and she's constantly experiencing racism when she's going overseas, by the way. But anyway, he finds her a lawyer, and, Preston did. And she's very, very grateful for him finding her a lawyer, but then right back to filming, he's shading her again. But hey, what she went through, that could have been much worse. Because when I saw that story about the Brittany Grenier, the basketball player, how they treated her, and she was a gay black woman at that, child, I wouldn't wish that on nobody. Watch your P's and Q's when you're famous and you're thinking that your fame is gonna let you skate on through. Because she was, Brittany admitted that she was resting on the fact that she had played overseas in Russia for over 5 years. And as a popular Russian, they knew her. I mean, not a popular American player that plays for the Russian team, as a matter of fact. They knew her and loved her over there, but at the same time, that was the people. The government wanted to use her as a tool because they had just gotten into that war with Ukraine. So, mind your P's and Q's. That's all I have to say. So, I wouldn't care about those shady confessions if he got me a lawyer. Preston said he was there for it, and when Simon wasn't even there for it, and she's like, he got me out of jail. See, that type of stuff. I think I still would be more grateful for the lawyer. I'm just saying. So then the question becomes, is Simon using you for clout? How? I mean, he's a multimillionaire. Easy. Because fame and money is two different things, honey. You are on a national syndicated show. So therefore, bingo. Yeah, clout chaser. Just because somebody's rich, that doesn't mean they're not clout chasers, honey. Stop with the foolishness. I know you know better than that. And, Jasmine chimes in and said, well, we all have the same thought about him. He loves the attention. Right. Still, cloud chasing. So, we're back to Jasmine. And Jasmine is talking about how nobody really has been supportive of her since she had the baby. And they asked them who Mrs. Silas in the house. And I think Amir, Jasmine, and Bria raised their hands. I don't think nobody else raised their hand. Anyway, the point is Preston didn't raise his hand. So that goes to the back and forth between Preston and Jasmine. So this is giving me that Preston is getting a big head. Because Preston was my onlyest favorite character on this show. But I think, as I've always thought, that Jordan wanted to be the HBIC, and the fact that she is really the one who came up with the concept of the show and had the connections with the producers. But then how can this, dark skinned, less, in her mind, attractive woman and her appendage husband, who nobody really likes, come in and become the center of the show? And so there are alliances being built, in my opinion. And Preston wants to be on the boat with Jordan. Now, a lot of people are misconstruing what the audience means when we say Jasmine. There is some jealousy of Jasmine by Jordan. I have no belief at all that that Jordan wants Jasmine's life. Who wants to be the jealous of a Stepford wife child? Nobody. The jealousy point of that statement to me is she's jealous of her friend. She wants her friend back. She wants the same friend, even though that friend is married. There are going to be changes made when a person becomes a wife and a mother. That just is what it is on that. And that's what I mean by when I say she's jealous of her. And the fact that, she became the nucleus of the show. Because, to be honest with you, all these people that talk about how beautiful Jordan is still a very, very, in my opinion, insecure person. We get on the Jamaica group, and this is what Jasmine talked about in her interview with Carlos King. They had the most drama amongst each other, but yet it's still icing her out from the trip. And none of them wanted her to come, especially Shanice. Ain't that something? Now, what drama did Jasmine and Shanice have? So she goes around the room, right? What was my issue with you? Well, I mean, you had issues with other people. Jordan, you said no. Me and you had a back and forth, but there still was no reason for me not to even be invited on the trip. Yeah, okay, got them together. Now let's talk to Preston. Preston, you wouldn't even know these women if it wasn't for me. Bingo. So what was your issue? No, you have become a follower as well. So each and every one of you that didn't invite her on the trip were kind of going along to get along with each other. And then on the same token, icing her out. So, as Preston has gone through his little press tour, letting everybody knows that Silas was his friend, and through Silas, he and Jasmine were cool. Now, it's an issue with Silas, so him and Jasmine don't have any reason to be cool. You see how that works? She's like, you were in my wedding, so I thought we were closer than that. Now, mind you, he's clarifying in these interviews that Silas was his line brother. Now, by proxy, what again has Jasmine done to you, though? So by proxy, your friendship, even though it was through your line brother, should not have an effect on you guys. Because I don't see anything that Jasmine's done to you. Period. Dot. Now it's Jordan's turn to chime in as to why she doesn't like Jasmine anymore. Well, I thought that she was just trying to puppet me off to the highest bidder. So, I just wasn't ready to be in any type of relationship. And Jasmine was like, Jordan, you know that I just wanted you to be happy, because you did express to me in the past that you wanted things like I had currently. Like you wanted the house, the picket fence, the husband, whatever. So that was the only reason why I was doing it. But that's not something that we couldn't resolve. Bingo. Girl, you're lying. And again, I am saying, and I'm sticking to it, that she is upset because she's not the HBIC and she thinks that she should be. Now I tell y'all about these pretty girls who have that pretty girl mindset, aka Giselle. Don't let somebody who she deems is not as pretty as she is to come in and be the leader or be more liked than she is. Pay attention now. Pay attention to those pretty girls. Even though Jordan is average pretty to me. I'm just saying. I mean, she's not like what they trying to make her out to be. I think her attitude turns her to that for me because, same thing for Giselle for me. Giselle, I can't even see past her personality to make her beautiful on the outside for me. That's just the real things for me. Okay, so finally we get to Nick. And Nick was like, it was never my intention to overstep my boundaries and be what you all consider handsy. We had already, Jordan and I had already discussed that issue. And then when it came up that Bria and Noelle and Shanice had the discussion with Natalie, it snowballed into something else. Right. All because of Natalie, though. She was the problem in this equation. She made things way more sensitive than they actually were because of her need to want to get involved in a situation that did not really even involve her in the first place. But she wanted to be quote unquote Tasia's friend. No, you were being messy. And that's what Noelle addressed. No, your girlfriend was spreading stuff that she had no business spreading because this was between us. Even though it was girl talking with a show, probably at the reunion, it probably wouldn't have got back to Nick in this way. So I'm watching on Peacock, and they're using all the cuss words, right? So Bria was like, if it was me and you in a situation, I do believe you would have wanted to F me because you were flirting with me on the boat. Not really. Not what I saw, and maybe they cut it out. Because I didn't see any flirtation on the boat. I don't recall. I know he was looking. But again, the man is now going to look. And to me, she was doing more flirting with him, trying to get him to be her emotional support pet. When Milo was there. Wasn't that Milo's job? So sadly, Tasia chooses herself. Because Annie asked if they were broken up, and he said that they were. Tasia wants more. Nick is not ready. And that clearly showed by, him not acknowledging her when he was flirting with Shanice. Ooh, Nick. I wish you hadn't dipped down in that girl's inbox. Anybody but that damn Shanice. And I do believe that she broke up with him because, yes, he did embarrass her on the show. I would have broke up with his ass, too. So Andy asked, was Natalie being messy? And he, no, she was just a girl's girl, and she lives by girl code. That ain't what showed up on the camera mirrors, Drake Jr. It showed up on the camera is that she was a non-cast member getting involved in an issue by the Los Negros that she don't really like or she can't vibe with, or quote unquote. And she was trying to, insert herself into a situation where it had nothing to do with her or you. Y'all should have stayed in your little love bubble. And Noelle stayed on that doggone Drake's neck. I wish that girl had been there so she could have said it in her face. No, she's messy. She ran things back that she had no business running back. No, it was game of telephone. A messy game of telephone. And if she was here, I think Noelle would have been on that neck where she needed to be. I wish she had just been there for just that segment alone. And she involved herself in the things that she should not have been. In other words, let's break the fourth wall and say she involved herself in Cass' business. And it said, well, Well, would she be willing to come back? Well, I mean, she wants a second chance. A second chance at what? I won't change my mind. I don't care if that girl brings back roses, flowers, butterflies, which is my favorite thing, and doggone pansies and sprinkles. Nothing and sprinkle cookies. Shout out to Teresa. Nothing that she would do would change my mind about her. And the same thing that happened with the sprinkle cookies with Teresa and Melissa. And Nick expressed himself. He came on out with it. Now, if she wants to get to know me, then she need to have a conversation with me and not talk about me behind my back and then causing all kind of chaos and confusion. Correct. So then they ask Summer, did she feel bad about saying that she needs to wear dress? No, because I don't like anything that she wears. I have a tendency to put clothes together better than her. Not on the stage. All y'all, the dresses, while shaking in my opinion. I mean, I did give Jordan, I did give, why I keep saying Jordan? Get mad at myself about that fruit roll-up dress. No doggone well I didn't like that. Jasmine and Noelle best dressed. But nobody was, standing out as amazing dresses by even the show or or on this stage at the reunion. And Shanice says that, it wasn't even her question about, when they were playing the game. And then she said that you jumped right in and answered the question. Well, no, she kind of dragged it out and said, whose worst dress is Shanice? Because there's hesitation there. But, nobody lied. Like I said, nobody has given me the good eye to say, ooh, girl, she can dress. I'll put it this way. Nobody on that stage is winning except for baby. Nobody. And she said, and what really pissed me off is the next day, you came in and asked me to borrow a sweater. And that's what she said. That's something said, because I know how to put things better together better than you, baby. Ooh, baby. That's something. So I'm going to turn the winner real quick then, didn't she? So then my girl, the Brooke Ashley, came in with her funky stank-a-dank. Had all kind of judge and flowers on it. Come on, Brooke. The question was, if you are sleeping with these high-profile men, girl, how come you cannot even afford a blouse, child? A Zara blouse at that. Well, Miss Brooke Ashley. Now, you did ask that on Twitter, but girl, I did not know they were going to make the doggone cut on the show. Come on with it now. And she's like, I don't sleep with men for money. I sleep with them because, I like having sex. Okay, well, you can like having sex and get you a little something out the deal. Because if you're going to sleep with a high-profile man, get you a whole high-profile outfit or something out the deal. Because the girls that I know that's high yellow, long curly hair, and like to sleep around, they all get something out the deal. Shout out to Shawnee O'Neal. Shout out to Evelyn Lozado. You better get in that record book with those girls. Those high-profile hussies, high-profile gold diggers. Shout out to Melissa Ford, Corinne Stephens. Now, personally, I like the season and the reunion. That closed out the questions. Brooke and Brooke Ashley got that good end the show question in, baby. What you call the coup de grace of questions, if you will. So, I'm just going to end by saying I want the show to last. I love the show. I love the cast as a whole. I would like to see some changes made. I miss Mariah. I can't even lie about that. I don't think it was fair how things shook out with her and Amir. But other than that, let's keep the cast. Let's give them another chance. Excuse me, and Mariah in. And if Amir, aka Drake Jr., wants to go because his old lady can't be on the show, goodbye, Amir. You won't be missed. Toodaloo. And with that, I'm going to close. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell button so you can be notified when I upload a video. And with that, I'm going to close as I do and chunk them up. Deuces.